This one's for anyone who wants to sell their real estate wholesale deal for the most money. This is the podcast to 10x your income and replace your W-2 salary with wholesaling real estate, which is a strategy to find a rundown house and sell it to an investor without putting any money down yourself. My name's David Lecko, and this episode is a solo done by my co-host Ryan Haywood, who's actually closed 419 real estate wholesale deals in 2019, since 2019, and he's going to talk about how they sell each one of these for the very top dollar. When you guys stick around to the very end of this episode, we're going to actually get you an example of a deal that Ryan has sold and exactly how the flyer promoting the property looked like.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DealMachine Real Estate Investing Podcast. I am your host, Ryan Haywood. I want to talk today about the disposition process and the presentation that you make of the property that you have under contract to a potential investor, potential buyer. And the reason that this is an important piece, we all know through the process and through education that securing the property is one thing, but you don't make your money until you assign the property. So now the practice or the process of presenting your deal, not just simply dropping it on Marketplace or Facebook, but actually having a nice, presentable flyer that goes over the details of your property is going to help you significantly and quickly dispose of your property. I want to tell you how to do that right now. On your flyer, which I'm going to actually give you a template that we use on all of our deals when we send it out to a investor or our list of buyers, we use this template. And what it's going to do is it's going to give you a brief overview of the property. It also indicates to investors that you have done your research or done some research on this property. Some of the keys that you want to accomplish in that presentation, obviously photos. And you want good photos. We understand that these are distressed properties, but you're not wanting to showcase just the bad. Like, you want to have a nice photo of the exterior on the front of this flyer that catches somebody's attention. Now, I don't recommend doing Photoshops and making it fancier than what it is. Like, let it be what it is. But getting a full zoomed out vision or view of the house is something that's important to be on the front of that flyer. In addition, having other pictures available for that flyer, maybe of each room. On a flyer, you don't have a ton of room to put just tons of photos. You want it to be a quick overview. You want it to grab their attention and for them to call you. And then on the call, they're going to say, do you have more pictures? And you can, at that point, present them with more photos. But you want to have a couple pictures, a couple features of that property on the flyer. Obviously, the front of the house. But if there are any character uniqueness that you can put pictures of some cool character features, that is something that's also important. But then you're going to get into the details of the actual deal itself. Now, some of the things that you want to include, obviously we have all done our search. We've looked up what we believe houses in this area are going for. So providing an estimated ARV is important. Now, you can even put a disclaimer like we have on ours that, hey, we do our market research, but we encourage you to also research the deal yourself. Do your own due diligence. It's not always the same. If somebody has, their own construction crew, things could be cheaper than what it would be with other people. So it's always good to encourage them to do their own due diligence. But you're going to give them an idea, an estimated idea of what you perceive the ARV for this property is. You want to make sure that you give them the number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms, and the square foot as accurately as you can.
Hey guys, if you know you want to quit your job in the next 3 months, make sure you're subscribed to this podcast because we've got some incredible frameworks with step-by-step instruction that you're not going to want to miss. Also, leave us a rating and review to let us know your favorite parts and why you want to get financial freedom.
If you have walked the property, sometimes you can tell, like if you look it up on Zillow, the square footage of the house on Zillow is not as accurate as what's in person. And I don't know if it's like sometimes they don't count the second floor or whatever, but knowing when you're walking through the property, to get an estimate of the square footage and make sure that that is on the flyer. That will always play into the value of that house. If on Zillow it tells you the square footage is at 835, but you know by walking through that it was actually 1,200 square foot, that is going to change what that property is worth. So it's good to provide that kind of information on this flyer. Another piece of information you want to give is a repair estimate. Now, we know that you're not going to be as thorough as a contractor. That's not the point. The point is to make sure that they can see that this deal is a investment deal, an investment opportunity. So run your numbers based off of your square footage. Hopefully in listening to this podcast, you've been able to put together a idea of what per square footage, what things can be. But you can also reference our podcast where we talk about estimating a rehab if you don't know. But you're going to take your square footage, you're going to multiply it by whatever number, $25, $35, $45, depending on the level of rehab this property needs. You're going to provide that, and then you're going to provide what the assignment price is for this property. So on your flyer, you've got the pictures of the house, the overview. You've got an idea of the ARV. You've got a repair estimate provided. You've got an assignment price provided. What's another thing that you're going to need? Your contact information. Drop your contact information, and bam, you're ready to send this flyer out to some of your buyers, some of your investors that you have vetted, you've worked with, you've talked to see what they're wanting in terms of an investment property. So you're going to send that, and then in hopes that's going to drive some interest from that flyer to you. They're going to call you. They're going to ask you more questions about the property. You're going to do the best you can to answer every question about what did you see when you walked through the property. Now, again, kind of going back to what you should take pictures of so that you're prepared when that call comes in. You want to make sure you get a picture of each room. You want to make sure that you get a picture of each side of the exterior. You want to make sure you get a picture of the electric panel, of the furnace, of the water heater. And if there are evident issues with the property, a foundation is falling in, anything like that, it's very important to get those as well. You're going to put all of this information in your flyer. You're going to send it out. If you want a template of the flyer that we use, go to DealMachine.com /flyer, and we will get that to you. You can edit it. You can put your information on it. You can use it to the best of your ability. It will help you in presenting deals to investors. It's going to help them see that you've put the time and the effort in presenting this deal to them. It should help your close rate as well. I know this was short. I know this is sweet. But I hope it was very beneficial for you. I hope that you'll find value in this. Please make sure you're following along. Subscribe to the Deal Machine Real Estate Investing Podcast for more great content like this.
Thanks for listening to the Deal Machine Real Estate Investing Podcast. Please leave us a review and follow along wherever you're listening to your podcast.